So does it mean that nepotism, all these lopsided things,
see, that is if we start arguing
ingrained?
Here, let me call you out. A friend of mine sent me this. You know, I want to read out the list.
Okay.
That under the most attacked Buhari, this is what he sent to me. This is what the economic configuration looks like. Petroleum, Katsina Buhari. Minister of Coordinating Economy, on his appointment, he appointed that woman from Ogun, who is the coordinating and the minister. FIRS, he appointed Fowler from Lagos. Stock Exchange from Anambra, Custom from Bauchi, Nimasa from Rivers, Railway from Edo, NICTF from Anambra, Sovereign Wealth was from Imo, Economic Advisor was from Ogun, NNPCL was from Borno, Pencom, Kano, Bureau for Enterprise was from Ondo, Public Procurement was from Anambra, Accountant General was from Kano, and Airport Authority was from Katsina, and NIPOS from Oyo. Well, let me read out that of Tinubu now. Petroleum, he himself. Finance, is Yoruba. CBN, is Yoruba. Stock Exchange, is Yoruba. Custom, is Yoruba. Inland Revenue, is Yoruba. Pencom, is Yoruba. Nimasa, is Yoruba. Nigerian Railway is Yoruba, NSITF is Yoruba, NNPCL is Yoruba, Accountant General is Yoruba, Public Enterprise is Yoruba, Bureau for Public Procurement is Yoruba, Sovereign Wealth is Yoruba, NIPOS is Yoruba, and Federal Airports Authority is Yoruba. All I'm saying is, these people, whether you even appoint them from Lagos that dominates the arena, that's not a problem.
Because the office that is largely responsible, that helps the presidency about appointments, just a moment.
The chief of staff is Yoruba.
The secretary of the government of the federation.
And Dare himself that responded to me is Yoruba.
One Nigeria in the mud. One Nigeria in the mud. Every now and then we hear leaders say things like, we're one Nigeria, we're one Nigeria. But we're only one Nigeria to the extent of the person who is leading us as president. The person who leads us as president goes on and employ people who are fantastic speechwriters these days. In fact, you don't even have to employ those who are fantastic speechwriters. Your ChatGPT can develop anything that you want it to develop when it comes to writing unity speeches that cuts across Namoda into Enugu or into Maiduguri back to Lagos, as the case may be. Yeah, you don't need any, you just need maybe a graduate, somebody who can prompt ChatGPT very well, a prompt ChatGPT engineer that would assist you in writing speeches that would just have you reread and re-edit and edit and put you on camera and just to say it. But when it comes to acting it falls flat. Under Buhari, there's virtually no one that didn't complain about nepotism, that didn't complain about enthroning people who are not even competent. I mean, we're not even saying don't employ people from your own zone, but employ those who are educated, who are competent, who have the foresight, who have some direction, who, would bring reforms to our systems. But during this guy's era, Buhari's era, we were dumbfounded. Well, would you really even blame those whom he employed? Does he even know any better? Was he really educated? We had an issue with the certificate while he was in power. And all of a sudden, I think one of those, institutions just cooked up something and then they went to give it to him. And then it was now like, oh, well, he was educated. And then, the issues with, we're talking about the president of the most populous black nation. We shouldn't be talking about your certificate. In other climes, once an issue of the certificate comes out, you just step aside. There's no trying to bend it or trying to hoodwink institutions. When we say institutions are weak, is this not part of it? So you have those kinds of people rule over a country that has people with smart minds. Go to Europe, go to America, go to every part of the world. Asia, you see black people excelling in several things. In any point, as in any professional work that you see that happens or that gets underway in those climes, you see black people ruling, black people taking the charge. But black people cannot take the charge in their own country because they are not able to get their leadership right for once. It is terrible. I'm telling you, it is terrible. If you think it's a joke, it is terrible. Now, do we need anybody to tell us that the country is not unified? I mean, under Buhari, we saw nepotism, drag us backwards tenfold. In fact, Buhari's agenda was just enthroning his Fulani cronies. That was his agenda, right from day one. He didn't even try to hide it. It was deliberate. And the painful part is this same guy called Ali Ndume never made a fuss, never made a fudder, never made any noise. In fact, sometimes when I see people who complain about nepotism, I tend to check back where they were coming from. You were still a senator from Borno under Buhari, by Buhari's 8 years. No day did you come out to say this man is nepotistic. This man, does not know what he's doing. He is going to the wrong direction. No day did you do that. Then a Yoruba man is on sit, and he did the same thing that you guys are doing, or you guys did. Yet people are still complaining. Then the painful part is, I don't know if you've noticed. Have you heard recently an Igbo man complaining about nepotism? An Igbo man will not, because we're experienced with what Buhari did us. We complained about it, complained up onto the fact that they arrested and incarcerated and still incarcerating our own Nnamdi Kanu in prison. I'm still shocked that Nnamdi Kanu is still in prison 2 years since Tinubu took over power. I am still bewildered. I am stunned. I was thinking, okay, a southerner, I mean, he himself was an activist while he was, before he became governor. He himself was an activist. Even while he became governor, he was even antagonizing the government at the center. To the point that even the federal government seized the allocation to Lagos, which was bad. But then you could tell that he has a mind of an activism. He has a mind of activism, and is a kind of guy who, when he gets in there, because he knows what activists do and what they want, he will do it. He will make sure that he silences them, not through guns or threats, but through what he does in terms of delivering the goods of democracy. But here we are. This man who is supposed to be self-righteous, who virtually got into every protest, call it Nadeko, call it Goodluck Jonathan's Occupy Nigeria. He was in the forefront of it. Yet he's the person on seat, but he wants to silence everybody. He wants to threaten everybody. He wants to hoodwink you. He wants to cajole you. He wants to shut your mouth not to say anything. Can you imagine that? So you see, this issue of one Nigeria. Now, I'm not even saying that what he's doing is even right. But I'm saying that if you must criticize somebody for doing something wrong, make sure you have criticized somebody who was before him or even around him that has done something wrong that you also criticize. Because if it was a Fulani man there now, or a Kanuri man there, or a Hausa man there now, who has appointed more northerners into power, which Goodluck Jonathan did, you guys still criticize him because it's not your own. You're very quick in criticizing those who are from the south, who do the same thing your people do to us, but you are slow when it is your own person who does the same thing to people from the south, but of course elevating your own people from the north. This is the reason why so many of them are screaming, so many of them are crying, Politics is the only thing that they live by. Politics is the only thing that they eat. Politics is the only thing that they do. Politics is the only thing that if they don't get hold on to, they might die. That is practically what is playing out. Because if not, tell me why it's just 2 years into this administration, you're already crying, you're already shouting, you're already having sleepless nights about the fact that he's appointing people. Didn't Buhari do the same thing? Didn't you do worse? If it was not this statutory thing that everybody says that you must get ministers, I'm sure that Buhari would have even appointed a Fulani man to represent these 5 southeastern states as his ministers. Then you are coming now to tell us this guy is nepotistic. Oh, come on, man. Let's drop that, man. Let's drop that and focus on the real issues. Okay? Though, yeah, the people who should even be complaining about the nepotism is even the Igbos. Since Goodluck Jonathan left power in 2015, this is 2025. This is what? 10 years after. Since Goodluck Jonathan left the power, the Igbos have suffered humongous humiliation, humongous nepotism, up until the point that we still have Nnamdi Kanu in prison, their own, who dared to ask that the president should play a level playing field, should give us a level playing field. Up until, like somebody just said, let's have a level playing field so that the Igbos can breathe, can thrive, can do business. They carried him and put him in prison. As in, they went to another country, Kenya, brought him out from Kenya and rendered him into Nigeria. We haven't heard the last of that story. And Malami it's shocking really that this same Malami that is running from one place to another, that is crying that they attacked him the other day, is this same Malami that was Attorney General when that thing happened under his nose, and he left power without releasing Nnamdi Kanu. What does that tell you? No. I mean, I don't know what you think though. Tell me what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear from you as always.